Lehman College has opened a food pantry 1 year ago to meet the needs of our students. Over 50% of Lehman students report a household income of $30,000 or less. 40% of students work more than 20 hours a week. 76% of the students using the pantry said it provided them with a meal they would have otherwise skipped. Unfortunately, food insecurity is a reality for many of our students. The latest research from the Wisconsin Hope Lab suggests 36% of university students were food insecure in the last 30 days. Let's listen as Lehman College school counseling students discuss Sara's book as they prepare to be school leaders and advocates in the Bronx.
One thing that I've taken from this book, and just from, Sara Goldrick Robb completely, is her willingness to always inform people. Like inform, information. And this book is just a Bible of information. Like most people don't know, she used a place that I guess she was familiar with, but
right, she was faculty at the University of Wisconsin, and this was done in the state of Wisconsin, but now she's in Philly.
Now she's in,
she's joined us on the East Coast.
So now it gets really real there. So, just her willingness to inform and continuing to her being, me going on the show and, getting asked questions by Trevor Noah. It just shows like, the information, there's multiple ways to pass the information. Don't just write a book. Try to get on TV shows. Make sure your face is known on Twitter. And if your face isn't known on Twitter, make sure it's known on Twitter, like Kanye. So
maybe not like Kanye. Maybe the antithesis of Kanye. But the point is, she does what few researchers in education do well, which is to be a public scholar, a public intellectual. So she knows how to write like a novelist and how to put it out there like the best PR spokesperson I know in all of higher ed. Well said.
Book would be that the price does not stop just financially. It's also a social component. It's also an emotional component, and to compare different students with the same platform is just completely unfair, and it sets people up at a disadvantage from the very beginning.
Yeah. So instead of making the economics into practical, implementable solutions, I'm thinking about how can I have those type of relationships with those higher education institutions that actually do have these thought processes to support students, because there are out there. I think they're dwindling, but I recall going to, being part of a program like such. So how can I have those type of relationships if in fact I'm doing college access, so that I don't just, support my students to get to college, but I also support them to get into great programs that support them, and that I can, that they can be handed over into other spaces that are gonna nurture them through their graduation and beyond, because graduation is obviously not the end of it. We wanna, become successful professionals, right? Or whatever that's gonna look like for them. And I can see that even in my capacity as a middle school counselor, I can do that now by making sure that I have relationships with those high schools that also are going to be nurturing of our Black and Latino students. And I can go on and on about that, but I will not.
The last thing I want to talk about tonight is I want to make sure that everybody knows that Lehman College is also very much involved in data gathering. A bunch of our students now, our undergrads, are involved with our food pantry, with our alum and our part-time faculty member, Director of Leadership here, Suzette Ramsunder, along with her colleagues in student affairs, have really spearheaded, organizing around the food pantry. And so I've started to collect data, and we'll be joining with Dr. Goldrick this October on the national collection of data looking at food insecurity and housing insecurity amongst Lehman students here, and so contributing to part of that national dialogue. And as we know, our voices are powerful, but they're so much more powerful when we have evidence and data and research to show our effectiveness.
Today, on behalf of the Herbert H. Lehman Leadership Center and Food Bank, we welcome Dr. Sara Goldrick to the campus to share best practices to intentionally serve our brilliant students.